Hi, Meeple Mentor fans, Jared here, and today we're doing an unboxing for a Kickstarter that just delivered to backers. This is the first expansion for a longtime favorite for fans of cooperative games, religious-themed games. This is called Commissioned, and the expansion is The Call. So you do need the base game for playing this, and this is from Chara Games. So the Commissioned, if you're unfamiliar, is all about players working together as one of the apostles from the Bible, trying to, grow the church in the Mediterranean at that time. And the map and all of that is very much made and designed as those maps were in the day, in that age. And so this is an expansion that adds 2 new apostles, solo play, 2 more scenarios, chains module, so stuff you can add in. And the text here for the expansion in general, it's called "Conflicts inside the church may make holding on to our freedom in grace the hardest thing we ever do." So without further ado, I want to open this right up and take a look with you. One thing I think that makes this game unique as far as cooperative, a lot of people compare it to Pandemic, but it's more of a reverse Pandemic because in Pandemic you're trying to remove all the cubes from the different locations. In this one, you're trying to add cubes to the locations. So here we've got the rule set for everything from the expansion that's included. Another thing I was going to add about the uniqueness of the game, if you haven't played, is that to solve the quarterbacking problem of players who tend to say, well, this is what we should do, and that's the ideal move and all that, is in this game, you roll a die before you take your turn. And depending on that roll, you may or may not be able to speak, and to varying levels. So it's really interesting how they do that. I feel like more games should probably implement that type of thing. But it's really cool because then one player can't just be giving the best or their preferred solution at any time. All right, so here are some of the new scenarios. The Council of Jerusalem, where you set up with board side A on both of these actually. You got victory conditions, special rules, and all that stuff, and failure. The other thing about this game is it does include sort of a reference guide or that sort of thing that connects everything to what's in the game to the Bible. So you can actually, learn where all of these ideas came from for the cards in play, for the characters and all that stuff. Comes straight from the Bible. So I have heard of some like Bible study groups actually play and use this game like in their study because it is biblically and historically accurate. According to various writings. So we have punch outs. So we've got some like broken heart tokens, and I just went ahead and started punching because that's what I do. We've got like trade or justice is my guess here. Various circular tokens, green. And then we have here some triangles. So this looks sort of like a penalty on places that you can't either move a missionary, which is that icon, or add a church, which is the cube icon. And so these can be used and added to mark places and locations on the board for limiting circumstances on where you can and can't go and that sort of thing. So that is what's on these little punch boards right here. And I'll get into the cards here in a second. On top, we have a board for solo play. So now with Commissioned, you can actually play solo, and on your roll, instead of whether or not you can speak and all that kind of stuff, you've got some different results here on what the solo player does when they roll. And so that's a unique way to handle that. I'm not sure how all of this works, but it appears that all these new small cards are for the solo player, or maybe not all of them, but some of them. So we'll take a look. So there we go. That's a little bit of an overview, and then that's the art on the back. These are the new characters they talked about. And so we've got Phoebe meeting the real needs of people. She also carried Paul's letter to the Romans. And then we have Priscilla. So 2 more females added, which is great. There was a lot of male apostles at the time. And so Priscilla says, known for her keen mind and insightful teaching, Priscilla mentored Apollos and many others. And here you can see that's sort of their color. So obviously pink here, orange pawn there. So that's how that works out. And you can also see their colors on the edge of the board there. So here we go. And I'll just set that here. And lastly in the box is these cards. And some of these are more types of cards found in the original game and stuff that are related to solo mode and some of the new scenarios. So let's take a look here and see if we can get these cards open carefully. And I'll probably have to end up sleeving these as well to go in my copy of commissioned. So let's separate these. We've got the faith cards and we have chain cards. So this is based on what I saw in the rules, the new module that this game adds. So I don't know how these work just yet, but this is the chain module cards. So you're welcome to slow this video down and read everything on these cards that I'm just kind of shuffling on through. That's what's on those. And then the faith cards here. These are also in the main game, and these are, you got Phoebe's starting cards, you've got Priscilla starting cards, so that's these. We've got some more here: Grace, Agape Love, Healed Wounds, Extra Measure of Faith, draw 2 faith cards, Iron Sharpens Iron, all players either lose from their draw or discard. All right. And here we go. Here's some last ones here. So that's these are all the cards there, and of course these are for the characters starting hands. And now we have the larger cards that we're going to take a peek at here. All right. Set that aside. All right. So we have some trial cards, some restore cards. We have the chain module, chain special rules, so a little reference card, always a good thing to include in the game. Passing the torch, special rules, and order of play. So you've got actually a reference card for each character, and on the back, a reference card for each character on the other scenario. So you've got a lot of help for getting either of these started in your game. And so the back of this one obviously is the Council of Jerusalem scenario. The front is passing the torch scenario. So the special rules, really handy to have like a card so you don't have to keep flipping through rule books and that sort of thing. So that's these. Let's look at the trial cards first. So here's some of the stuff that happens. You have faith trials that affects, all the different, like spiritual war, abuse of power, conscience, compromise, all these different ways that impact the game, the board, characters, that sort of thing. And lastly, the restore cards, which I don't remember from the base games. So maybe these are the cards we're looking for as far as the solo play. So this is, here we go, what they say. There's a lot of text on the top, which I believe is just flavor text. And I'm not going to read everything, but you can see how these are laid out. Looks like there's decisions to be made. And based on decisions, you get something and the other person gets something. All right. That is all the cards and all the tokens. And since I kind of left these out, let me go ahead and just punch them real quick. But yeah, I'm excited to add this into my game and try them out and hopefully, get it played soon. So that's commissioned the Call, the latest and first expansion to commissioned the game. If you can find it, definitely pick this game up. If you like co-ops, this one's excellent. Art and theme, I mean, that's up to you, but I definitely like this game. I think it's a lot of fun. The only holdup is if your game group has any holdouts against playing a game that's based on Christianity. Essentially, that's pretty much it. It's not controversial other than that fact alone. So if you enjoyed this unboxing or you want to see more, check it out. I've got plenty of unboxings on the channel, and as well, my bread and butter of the channel is tutorial videos. I do very detailed, thorough tutorials twice a month for all kinds of games, mostly medium to heavyweight games. And we've got a podcast with my friend Jay, and he and I, it's called Mentor Minutes. We discuss top 10 board games of various things. We've interviewed a lot of designers and other publishers and that sort of stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Bye, everybody.